All right, we are on air. Oh, you know what I should do is share the agenda.
You did share the agenda.
What?
You did share the agenda.
Screen share? Doesn't look like it.
Oh, screen share the agenda. No, you could. Yes, you could do that if you want.
I like having the agenda available for people to see, but I don't like that when I do that, it turns into a group of white men on the video. So there we go. We can get Mike and the agenda.
Hang on, I'll share the agenda. How about that? And then you can talk.
Get a white man to share the agenda. That would be awesome.
1 second. Go ahead and start, Jen.
All right. Okay, so let's see. Design things. Most exciting progress this week in design has been the work Mike McCaffrey's been doing on our backdropcms.org homepage / footer / menu / layouts / other pages design. So I don't know, Mike, if you want to give us an update on that. It looks like you ran into some trouble as expected.
Not really much trouble. Yeah, I moved that menu that was on the left of the screen to the top of the screen.
Woohoo!
And switched everything to using the core layouts, which is good. Yeah, no, it was relatively uneventful. There's some difficulty in the fact that we don't really have a region that is between the header and the page title. So that's complicated to style things with CSS. So I ended up for the hero images putting them in the header and then using absolute positioning to drop them down. Anyway, I would suggest, is there any reason that we can't add like a banner region to the core layouts?
Well, just because we already have 2 regions on the top and 2 regions on the bottom.
Well, this is a region.
Be adding more regions. I think we should be, the real fix to this problem is make page title block, and we have a solution for that.
Okay.
But I think for our site, like, we have more options. Like, we could do whatever. We could override all of the template files and put the title wherever the heck we want. We could create new layouts.
Well, I think that if we just create where are we on that issue with making the title a block or be able to be a block?
Almost ready for 1.6, but then we ran into some serious issues with layout, the way layouts render things. And so we couldn't get the final things working before release, so it got pushed to 1.7. But it is pretty close. We have a pull request in the queue that just needs a little more honing in.
Actually, I think it's ready, but it's just in a needs review state. Like it literally hasn't been reviewed since Doc Woman fixed the problem. Yeah.
Okay. That might be worth throwing on our site, Mike. We could have a good use case for testing it.
I guess.
Sounds bold.
Dangerous.
Anyway, I think that the theme is ready to go. I mean, we don't have everything done that's in the designs and stuff like that, and the menu's still pretty big, and we need to do drop downs and stuff. But this basically does everything that our current site does, and then we can sort of tackle additional things and additional tickets.
Okay. I mean, there's still those issues I pointed out in that layouts ticket that haven't been addressed.
Did you point out more issues?
I also think, like, I only knew about two of our layouts that were weird, just off the top of my head. I think it would be good if we could get a QA team to go through your dev site and check all of the layouts and see if there is anything else that's weird that wasn't off the top of my head. Because I have a feeling there's probably other random things that we did on the current site that are currently lost that we just don't know about because we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I mean, I looked when I was going through the layouts. I was obviously looking before and after I changed the layouts to make sure all the content was still there. And from what I could tell, it was. The only exception was the showcase pages, which I just wrapped up putting everything back.
But you didn't put anything back. You just changed field display settings. None of the stuff that we needed is there. So we need to figure out how to get...
What's the stuff that you need?
The logic in the layout that determines which region to put which blocks in, depending on what fields have value on the node.
Why do we need all that?
Because it's in the design and it was done, and we need to not lose work that was done.
Okay. Well, let's put it this way. The way it was done, probably not the best way to do it. So I think that we kind of need to revisit that. Like, what was it doing?
That's fine. We can revisit it later, but it needs to be done first.
Yeah. So okay. One, is the showcase even live?
The showcase is not, like, the showcase nodes are live. The showcase view is not live.
Yeah. So
But
I mean,
regardless of whether it's live or not, we need to not be making more work for ourselves. We need, like, this whole thing needs to be moving us forward, not moving us backwards.
Yeah.
And since it was done before, it should remain done. And I don't care how, like, sloppy the code is. We just need to not undo it in the process. And so one of my recommendations was, like, I know that I agree was probably not done in the right way, especially now considering we're doing things differently. But if we could just copy, like, the custom layout thing we had before, like, exactly as it was, but maybe, like, drop in whatever, like, markup from the grid system, so we're not using the old thing, we're using the new thing. That might be close enough, like, just you don't have to rethink the pre-processing or whatever the heck was going on in that layout. It has the same name and it does the same thing, and then we can revisit it later. But we just don't want to lose that.
Okay, so I just went and added them as fields and did some basic styling. It doesn't have the little buttons, but I added some basic styling. So the only thing that I see that it doesn't do the way I just did it is have the it has the tablet view bigger.
Before. So that shouldn't have changed. It shouldn't have been lost.
We need to make progress on getting the site to look better, and I don't want this to be a sticking point. And I don't want, if you have ideas of how this would work, you're free to work on it. But, like,
I'm just saying we can't launch it until it's done. And there are lots of ways that we can solve the problem, but we can't, like, I'm not comfortable moving us backwards. Like, that, this is the reason why the current theme we have isn't up, is because it moved stuff backwards. Like, we just need to make sure we're not undoing things as we're doing things. Because
I understand, and
in terms
I'd be fine with that, but
closest to being done, the showcase section is closer to being done than the homepage redesign is.
We need to get moving. We need to break things up into smaller pieces, and, like, the showcase isn't live yet, so we're not moving anything back in terms of, like, what's on the live site.
And the showcase is closer.
Okay, we need to get Nate. Can you please do your job as a tiebreaker here?
Okay, so recap. So hang on. I think I need a recap actually. What's the
we have 500 things we're trying to do at once, and all of them are related to making Backdrop more attractive to new users. One of the things that we think would help that a lot would be getting a new homepage design, and we have a design. We don't have implementation because implementation is hard. Another one of those things that's going to make Backdrop more attractive to new people is the ability to see sites that are currently running it. And so we've started these two projects. We started the showcase a long time ago. We got designs and we have the designs implemented. The one piece that's missing is we don't have a view that looks pretty. And so the contents of our next newsletter could be, check out our showcase, or it could be, there's a new homepage design. So we've got, like, these two things that are both, like, kind of close to getting done. One of them is a little bit of work, build a view and theme it. One of them is a lot of work, redo the theme, redo the layouts, redo a homepage, create a bunch of content.
And that's because redoing the homepage is not just redoing the homepage.
Right.
It's
Okay.
a new theme.
And Mac's done a lot of work on the homepage. I think arguably getting a prettier homepage is a more important thing because we've had the same homepage for 2 years and it's not super compelling as it is now. But
Right.
it's also a much more complicated task that involves like creation of content that we don't have and a whole bunch of other stuff going on. But Mike pointed out there's a lot of like little things we can do to move us closer towards getting that done, like redoing the layouts first or implementing like the new footer design or putting in here. And it's like a bunch of individual things we can do that don't involve doing all of the homepage thing. And some of them are easier to do than others.
So Jen, as a representative of Clueless Outsiders, I'm not. What's the functionality that you're worried is about to get lost just now? I'm not understanding. What's the...
So if you were someone who wanted to see sites that were built on Backdrop, we would have a section of the site called Showcase. This is also on the new homepage. Where you
I understand what Showcases is. I mean with the site at Mike's site.
Right.
I mean, what's
so
the
on
of
the
existing functionality that's dropping out? It's on Showcase. That's the functionality we're losing.
The node for Showcase, not the landing page, because we never had a landing page. Well, we have a landing page. It's not styled. The node for the Showcase was designed and implemented to make it look good, regardless of what content was provided by people in the community about sites they provided. So if you only have one screenshot at a particular size, the layout will adjust and put them in where they're supposed to be. If you have 3, it'll adjust and show 3. If you have 3 phone screenshots and no desktop screenshots, the whole thing will adapt so that we can take content from the community at large and display it in a way that is still appealing to new people who are looking for a Backdrop.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, the problem is that the new theme doesn't include the styling and layouts for
So we shouldn't have a new theme. It should be a copy of the previous theme. So it should have all of the stuff in it. We just had to rework a little bit of it to account for the things that are changed. So the styling shouldn't be lost as long as the markup is the same. But the problem is that all of the logic that determined which fields appear in which part of the layout was done in the layout. And we're switching layouts from what used to be our weird custom stuff based on like Backdrop 1.0 layouts to the fancy new grid system thing that are based on newer Backdrop core layouts.
Yeah, so no matter which one we choose, it will delay the other one. That sounds like. So if we do, I mean, if we were to launch the Showcase section, then the new, I mean, maybe not the new theme, but the updates to the theme would need to then refactor the way that the Showcase section is done. So it would delay the new homepage if we did the Showcase first, if we launched it. And the same is true vice versa.
The Showcase is already done.
Okay. Here's the thing though. The way I re-implemented it, all the content that's added will display. There's just some like fancy like moving stuff around here. I'm going to post two links in the chat. And so if you look at the current America's Best Boots Fitters, it looks like there's some logic that puts a tablet next to a phone and then a phone next to a tablet. Do you want to go to it, Nate, since you're screen sharing?
Yeah, I've got multiple windows. Hang on, I'm going there. So this is the current Backdrop website.
So also, there's other fields on the node that fit into that display. Like if you have a quote from somebody who's running it, that'll also get stuck in based on how many screenshots they have. Yeah. So there's a bunch of crazy logic.
Yeah, but like, so this is mine. Yeah, so mine, I just have it showing the desktop, the tablet, and the phone things in order, which seems fine for the moment. Like, you know, the fact doing a whole bunch of crazy logic to lay things out nicely on a Showcase page seems a bit less important than like the entire rest of the site.
Why can't we just copy the layout and be done with it. Like, leave it alone.
Okay, well, you can feel free to work on that. I just, or someone else can.
That's the point.
Well, the fact that it is, it's in.
But it is work, Jen, because like otherwise this one page is suddenly going to have a left-hand sidebar instead of the header across the top. Like they're different layouts. Yeah. I mean, you can't just have this one page revert to. I mean, I guess we could have this one page use the previous layouts.
I don't know. I mean, why don't I spend some time working on it today? I don't think it's going to be that much work to just remove the 2 sidebars and put in the classes from the core layout and then leave it.
I mean, like, I don't think that this page should have its own layout.
It does have its own layout, though. Like, if you look at the way the content works, it is a different layout than every other page on the site. And there's a reason for that, because this is a like sales type page, and it needs to account for any random amount of input and still sell the product.
And by different layout, you mean a different layout template, right?
Yeah.
I don't see why we can't just use like JavaScript or something to rearrange the elements like within the content of the page.
We can, but that's work.
Okay, everything is work, Jen.
But it's work that's done versus work that's not done.
All right. So
is this a shortage of people to work on it?
Shortage of competent people to work on it. I'm available, but but I'm looking at the code. Is this in like the .php file? Like is a preprocess function in the layout? Is that the thing that we need to move to the new layouts? Is that basically the idea?
Yeah. So there's a mess of code in there. I would like say it's probably not worth moving that to new layouts. Probably the best thing to do is just keep the layout, keep the name, fix the template file.
There's some chance I can do that. I'm looking at. I mean, I don't like. I'm looking for the mess of code, and I mean, I see some code, but it doesn't look like that much. I don't know.
Overall, though, I think that, I mean, it is great if we get some more volunteers to work on this stuff, but overall, I think that launching the homepage and the new layouts, including like the way that the header is displayed, is more important than the section that's not finished yet. I mean, it would be great if showcases were finished and we would launch this all at once, but I think that there is a point that showcases isn't even deployed yet in the means that it's not in the navigation.
Right now. You have the page open, your other tab.
Yeah, but there's no link to it. There's no way to see it.
It's going to be on the new homepage.
Yes, but before we work on the new homepage, we need to get the layouts and the header. So I mean, this is sort of in preparation.
We have a lot of things to do, and I don't think.
And that's why I'd like to launch this one and then move on to the next one.
It makes any sense when it was not broken before.
So, Jen, are you saying that we shouldn't launch anything until everything is complete?
No, I'm saying no. There's no reason to rush into launching something that breaks something when nothing else is ready.
Okay, it sounds kind of like the same thing as we need to complete everything.
No, not everything. Just like let's.
The showcase and the homepage need to be done at the same time.
No, just let's not launch the layouts knowing something's broken when there's no urgency in launching the layouts.
There's an urgency in launching the new header just so we can then start working on the next thing.
But there's the header's not blocking anything else.
It is because, for one thing,
like we still have to reorganize the menu items.
Okay, the problem is
launch the header until that's done.
The problem is, and this is sort of like a backdrop thing, is that we're dealing with configuration management, and as soon as long as the stuff languishes, like our configuration in our branch is gonna go stale, and then we're gonna be constantly merging configuration changes in and stuff like that.
Right.
So that's why I'd like to use shorter development cycles, since the
this
configuration.
Particular issue says export only the layout files and attach them here, because we're already out of date. We're already not running Backdrop 1.6.1. Right. There have been sites made to the changes they made all the site. This is just the layouts task.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you're getting at there.
So the task we're looking at includes the configuration for all of the layouts.
Yes,
Which
I
is-
updated
which
the
would
configuration for all the layouts.
Right.
So what's the problem with that? That's why I want to launch it now before we make additional changes within the layouts or stuff like that that
We already
then have
have.
to be. Why did we do that? What did we
Because
do?
we released Backdrop 1.2 and 1.3, and this says Backdrop 1.1. And there's also other people working on the live site all the time.
Yes, but okay, so I will get a fresh copy of the thing and I'll merge it in. But the less we can do this, the better. Like, you know,
There is a solution to that, and it's in the ticket. It just says export the layout configurations, and then we can keep working on everything else with the new layout configurations.
yeah, a bunch of stuff changed though. Like just with moving blocks around for the layout configurations, then blocks in content types, lots of styling stuff. So I mean, it's
But the styling stuff shouldn't be in the configuration.
yeah.
Anyway, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, I think like if we want to, maybe what we should do is make another ticket that's like, these are the things we need to do before we can launch. And we should work on those, like figuring out our menu structure.
I would like to really do this, make progress. I'd like to launch progress. I'm really frustrated that we're not making progress.
So
And like, you know, I just did this big push this week to try to get something done to like get us moving. So
yeah, I kind of agree that we need some stipulations around what is acceptable for pushing this out. And I think that, Mike, you're not being unreasonable in saying that, you know, okay, like this homepage, like as it is right now, like it is essentially the same as the current homepage, except that the layouts have been updated. It's like, is this an adequate, you know, iteration on our current website for us to deploy it? And if it is, then great, let's, you know, move forward with this and then iterate on top of it. But if we need more than this because the homepage design included replacing this entire middle section, including linking out to the showcase section, then we should define that as being like, that needs to be done before we actually launch
So the
this.
way that the header works, I think, is the most concerning because it shouldn't work with more than 4 links. And we've got like 8 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, however many. And so on mobile devices, is that a problem?
there's a weird intermediary thing. Nate, do you are you doing that?
Yeah.
Right here.
So it's
Yeah.
yeah, so that's not ideal, but if we then just do the drop downs and then switch to 4 things. But I mean,
I think that's still better than what we have now, though, honestly.
Yeah.
As long
Yeah.
as the links aren't missing, that's fine.
Nope.
Yeah. Okay.
So like this
I
is
tried
just
that
like
on Wes's iteration, I couldn't get it. It was like kind of broken with the current menu in there. So this is better. Okay.
So like nothing's will be lost with the showcase. I mean, we have version control here, and I'm not deleting that template file. So I mean, it's.
So here's an idea. Can you give me until the end of today, and
Okay.
then even if I haven't figured out what the hell to do with that stupid showcase node, we can plan on launching this like end of day tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, and let's just put a note in the chat for people to do final checks to make sure that there's no other stuff broken.
Yeah, if we could get like, I don't know if Tom's around today. He might be in the next meeting. If we could get him, because he's super familiar with all of the documentation pages. I know that there's a bunch of weird stuff that's like linked. The images are linked into the theme, like background images for sections and stuff, just to make sure that those are not broken. Because I noticed those were missing on Wes's theme, and I didn't know how, like if it was like a CSS thing that was thing, or if the actual images were inaccessible or whatever. But just some kind of like more thorough, like click through all the pages stuff. And then I would be comfortable launching end of day tomorrow.
Okay.
But we should also be prepared that someone will find something and we'll need to do some fixes. So I don't know if you have any time over the weekend this weekend, Mike, if something like that does happen.
Yeah, if we find stuff, that's fine.
Okay, that would be awesome. I also don't know what's going on this weekend, but I might also be available. But I would hate it if we were like all out of town and it's like, oh, our entire handbook is not working anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, good. So it sounds like we're kind of in resolution. That Jen will try to fix the showcase layouts to be to her satisfaction, but regardless of the status of them, we'll try to push out some changes this
And
week.
we'll get some QA going too.
And we'll get some QA going. Are we sure that pushing things out as soon as tomorrow is
A good idea.
or is a timeline that we can meet? I mean, again,
Well,
I'm just quick.
if people find stuff, then we can push it back. But if there's no issues that come up, then we should do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All
Mike,
right,
are you gonna try
and-
and grab I think it's the homepage layout is the one that I know for sure has changed. I think Gregory's also been doing some work on stuff. I don't know if it's worth grabbing all of them
Yeah.
and doing just a diff on the config.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be hard to figure out. Yeah.
I know for sure the homepage has changed, and that's the most important block.
Can
Content.
you guys make me an admin on the live site so I can look at what the layouts are there? Because
Yeah.
I currently am not, so I can't check what the layout is.
Okay. And so the issue that where we should be tracking changes is that in this issue 301, or do we have another location?
We have 350.
No, Yeah, not
350?
301. 301 is just the design.
Okay. Redo all layouts. Okay, so this is only just a one step. Just redo all the layouts. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Got
Right.
it. But it's a
But
big one.
it's the biggest, I think.
Okay. That sounds good. So, and then that means that in general, as we proceed through this, it sounds like we will launch these potentially one item at a time.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as the homepage, it's like a bunch of different sections and stuff like that. So it's like we can launch piece by piece.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I agree with that, and I think that's a good way to go.
Yeah, like Luke's working on the footer right now too. So
353.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's a good way to segment out our work so that multiple people can work on it. Okay.
Yeah,
that sounds wonderful.
okay.
Yeah, it's like you guys thought about this.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we've been doing a lot of thinking about it.
Okay, sounds great. Shall we move on
I don't think
to
there's
more
any
items?
updates on forum. I think we need to focus on backtopcms.org, and then we'll use that theme on forum and see what it looks like. Outreach related, nothing new. Product related, nothing new. I think we talked. I think we're good on design stuff, unless anyone has anything else they want to talk about this week.
Nope.
Okay.
All right. So I guess we will see each other in the next meeting.
Right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the broadcast.